In this video, I'm going to talk about formatting and conditional formatting in Microsoft Excel. Consider this a student result sheet. We want to format this one. Now, I select this part because it is the title, so I use the merge and center. In this way, we merge these 4 cells and centering them. Then we have the style cells here. We have a predefined styles, so I use the title because this is a title. Now, this when I select it, it's already putting some formatting on it by default. So using the font family and the font size is already selected. Now we can go back to the second part, which is the subtitles or the column names. So I go here and I can select from these, or I can select one of these based on what I want to do. Now I can use any of them. Let's say I select these 40%, and as you can see, it's already formatted. Now I'm using the fill handle to add some student. Let's say these are the student names. And one of the features that fill handle do is if you have let's say student 1 and 2, 3, 4, and so on. So if you want something, a pattern like this, the fill handle will do it for you automatically. Or you can also you just copy the cell, or you can use other options here. So now I use the fill series. So I double click here, so it will fit to the cell that has the most data. So it will fill the width of this column based on the cell data. Now I select these 2 cells and drag it. In this way, it will autofill for me the rest of the numbers. So the Excel know what I want is these numbers. So after selecting this one, now I select these and use the alignment. So I use the alignment middle and the alignment center. In this way, I center these. Now I wanted to make this a little bold, so I use the bold or Control B. Clicking it, it will make it a little bit bold. Now I have here the grades. So I use the fill handle to fill some data for me also. So I already used some if else here. Now I just use the fill handle to fill it for me. So it's just a basic if here. Check if it is bigger than 70, then this text should show. If it is not, then check if whether it is bigger than 55 or equal to 55. If it is, then the past text will be shown here. Otherwise, any number less than 55 will be a failed number, so it will show here. Now I use here this one, but what I also want is a conditional formatting also. Before going to conditional formatting, let me use table bordering for these cells. So I select all the cells and come to here from borders, and I use all borders command from here. Now this sheet is properly bordered. If I check on for printing, you can see the result here. It will be printed like this in a paper if you print. Now, what else I want is this. I want to do some conditional formatting. We have the conditional formatting options here. Now, I select all the cells that I want to conditionally format. Let's say if a number is less than 55, it should be red. The background color should be red, something like that, to show that this is different from others. Now, I selected all the cells, and I came to here and check these options here. So we have the greater than, we have the equal, in between, and others. I select this one, greater than. Sorry, I will use the less than in this one. So in here, I enter a number. Anything less than that number should be in red. So I use 55. So anything less than 55 should be in red. So I click OK. Now, as you can see, it automatically highlights those numbers that are less than 55 for me. Now, let's do some more conditional formatting. So in here, I'm checking whether if a student is failed, the color of the result should be also in red. So I go to conditional formatting, and from here I use the text that contains part, and I click here. I write any cell that contains the failed text should be in red. You see, as you can see, you can have the red borders, you can have many other options, green fill or something like that. So now this is fine for me. So I click OK here, and in this way, as you can see, it is in red. We did it conditionally formatted. It is useful sometimes when we want the formatting should be based on the data that we entered, not manually formatting the data.